So hello guys, welcome back to our channel. So today we will be looking into a question where the question is second largest element in an array, and this question has been asked in many of the companies. You can see we have Amazon, we have Accenture, HCL, and many big companies. So we'll be solving this question today. So the question is, we have been given an array and we need to find the second largest element present in an array. So the edge cases is the duplicate element should may be present. Okay, may be present, and if there is no such element, return -1. So let's see the constants, and you can see the constants. The constants are all positive numbers, so that means we won't be having any negative numbers in an array. Okay, the first thing is clear, we won't be having any negative numbers in an array. So you see we have two arrays. The first one is here and the second one is here, and the first array has a length of 6, which has 6 numbers in it, and this is an array. If you see, the highest element is 35, the second highest element is 34, so 34 is written over here. Okay, the second element with the 5 element all have the same value, so it's already written in our edge cases, like if duplicates element will be present, and if there is no such element, which is if there is no second highest element, return -1. So for this it has all the same numbers, and hence we'll return -1 for it. So yeah, let's get started with the code, and let's go to our notes. So let's take an example. So let's take an example with this. We have an array. Let's draw an array with 1, 10, 2, 4, and 6. So now we have the array. Now we'll make a function. The function may be def second largest, and we'll pass the array in it. Okay, so the methodology which we can use, first we can find the uh, the length of an array. So right now we are using Python. So let me write it down. We are using let's use it. Let me use this. We're using Python. Okay, so we'll find length equal to length of array. So this is an inbuilt function in Python. We will find the length of an array. So all the elements which are present in an array will be a positive element, as we have seen the constraints. So let's initialize our max 1 and max 2 value, which will be 0. So both the values will be 0 for right now, because we don't know which is the greatest one. So let's put it as 0 for initial time being, and then we can start with initializing of let's initialize max of 1 equal to array of 0. So we are here, array of 0. Let's put max of 1 is equal to array of 0, and then we will be putting another thing, which is running a for loop from first index. So we will be running a for loop from the first index, and we will be comparing these two, and we'll see who is greater. If 0 index is greater, we'll initialize first max 2 is equal to max 1, because we are trying to store the previous max value to the max 2, so it will become a second largest element. And now we are comparing which of the element is greater between 1 and 10. So in this case, the 10th element, I mean the second element, which is 10, is greater. So we'll put max 1 is equal to array of x, which is 1 in this case, which is array of 1. So this is the one. So let's go more into depth. This is a condition where we discuss if array of x or array of x is greater than max 1. There is another condition. What if it is smaller? Else if array of x array of x is smaller than max 1. But here we are finding the second largest element. So we need to put one more condition. If it is smaller than the max element, but if it is greater than max 2, if it is greater than max 2, we'll still update max 2 because at the end we need the second largest element. We'll update max 2 is equal to array of x because let me switch it here because it is smaller than max 1, so we won't be putting max 1 equal to array of x because it's smaller, but we need to also check if that array of x is greater than max 2. This is what we want right now, max 2. If it is greater than max 2, we will be initializing max 2 is equal to array of x. So these are the two conditions which we did. Now the first condition was what if array of x is greater than max? This was our first condition. The second condition, what if it's smaller, but what it is smaller than max 1, but it is greater than max 2. So we did this also. Let's take another condition. Sorry, this where is it? Let's take another condition. Else if array of x equal to max of 1. What if both are same? Here we will be using a counter equal to count plus 1, or you can use count plus plus, whatever you want. Count plus plus. So once this is over, we will be having the max 2 element in a max 2 variable. So before this, after finishing the for loop, we will be also doing a check. What if all the numbers are duplicates as they mentioned in the question? So we'll check if the count which we are checking for the numbers, if the numbers in an array are same. For this one, if all the numbers are same, it will increment. So what if the count is equal to length of an array? So that means if length of an array is 7, if length of an array is 7 and the count of an array is 7, that means it has the same number of elements, and in that case we need to return -1. Okay, now if the count equal to length, if if there is no such thing, it will go in an else loop and it will return max 2, and we are good to go. So we did a comparison if there are duplicate elements. We did a conditional loop for if array of x is greater than max 1. We did a conditional loop for array of x is smaller than max 1 but array of x is greater than max 2. So this is done. This is perfectly done. Comparison of all duplicates elements, and then if there are duplicates elements in the whole array, return -1, else return max 2. So we divide this into 4. Okay, so you know what? We can make an edge cases. Let's do an edge cases. This is what most of the interviewer in Google, Facebook, Microsoft, whatever company you go, they usually look for the candidate. If the candidate are like implementing edge cases in a program or not. So in this edge cases, let's say if the of the length of array, what if the length of array is less than or equal to 1? Is less than or equal to 1. So we'll put an if condition over here during over here. Okay, let's go this side. If length equal to if length equal to length equal to oh sorry if length smaller or equal to 1, let's make it properly. If length greater or equal to 1, return -1. Else we can run our program, what we wrote. So here we have did this max1 equal to max1, and we can do this here. If length equal to 1, return -1. Else we'll use the same thing which is over here. Else if array of x, which is the current, is greater than max1, we can just put max2 equal to max1 first, and then max1 equal to array of x, which will replace the values in the max1 max2 values. We'll check another condition. If it's smaller, if sorry okay if if array of x is smaller than max1, it's fine, there is no issues. And if array of x is greater than max2, so in this case we can update max2 equal to array of x. So let's do one more condition. If array of x equal to max1, so in this case we'll use a pointer. So did we declare the pointer over here? Let's declare somewhere here counter equal to 0, and then counter equal to counter plus 1 plus 1. I'm so sorry, let's write it properly. Counter equal to counter plus 1. Once counter is done, we'll get out of this we didn't write the for loop. For x in range 1 to length 1 to length -1. So this is done. Counter equal to 1, and then once this loop gets terminated, the for loop, then we'll check if counter equal to length -1. If yes, return -1. Else return max2. I think we are good to go. So let's go on a screen and let me show you by executing this code on my laptop. Whole code on the coding ninjas, and here we have the code, and we just found an issue with our code. Let's run and show it to you. And you can see the test case 3 didn't pass, and it was passing a negative number. So we were not knowing, like it's showing like they don't usually pass negative numbers because the constant is n, like n should be greater than 1, and at most it should go to the 5000s numbers, but here the numbers were passed negatives. So I think we need to just change a little bit over here. If it's like we just pass let's initialize max1 and max2 values to -infinity, because we will be having our negative numbers also. So let's do a -infinity. That means we are not initializing our max1 and max2 to 0. We are initializing it to -infinity because we have negative numbers right now over here. We don't need max1. Max2 is fine. Let's try to run this. Okay, so all the test cases have been passed. Let's try to submit. Okay, we submitted and it got accepted. All the test cases were correct. So guys, this was it. If you have a more better solution, feel free to drop in the comment and share with